behind the cage. Dash to his right and wraps it around to the goal. Lobo, O'Reilly, over the top. Roy ready, shot and score. Gets around Wheaton, up and bounce, shot and a score. Wow. Levine with some speed. Levine fakes a pass. Levine all the way is going to fire and score. Up top, Druin. He wants a shot, and he's got it. Wow. Meanwhile, Arbusto. One-handed shot is up and in. With an extra man. Bouvier sniping top corner. Sophomore goes back to it. Enzo turns and scores. Now inside of 4 minutes. Who's the man? Spellman's the man. That's who. Clark on the run. Shot and score. Meanwhile, Durkin to the cage. Shot and score. Chase. Extra feed. Shot and score. Game over. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Londonderry. Nick Anastas, Cam Holt here with you with our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. The Division I defending champion, Bishop Guertin Cardinals, open the season in Londonderry for the second straight year. The Lancers look for the upset and hope to strike out of the gate. A windy afternoon, however, gorgeous temperatures in the lower 60s. The sun is out, and these two teams meeting at midfield. Season opener statewide. All divisions, boys and girls. We'll keep an eye on some of the out-of-town scores as we get this one cooking. Let's bring in my partner, Cam Holt, formerly of Bishop Guertin, of course. Staff on for the last several seasons. You know this better than anybody, the feeling of opening day. Take us down on the field. What do you think's going through some of these youngsters' mind here on the eve of the regular season?
Well, it's a great opening day. I mean, the weather's perfect, and you can just feel the energy from both teams here that they're excited to get the season opener underway. I know from BG, Coach Cam, he always stresses at the beginning of the season, fundamentals, keeping it simple. So expect that from BG today. Nothing too fancy. They want to make sure that they get off on the right foot. And just make sure they keep it a simple game today. Cardinals, champions last year. As we know, 10 Division I champions, really the favorites year in and year out. This season being no exception. However, Londonderry on the other side, an up-and-coming program under head coach Roger Sampson. He's had them busy. 7 scrimmages over the last 3 weeks, including some out-of-state schools on the schedule, trying to get these guys ready. And as Coach said to us yesterday, they're going to play this game to win. Yeah, even when I played back in 2016, Londonderry always came. They always gave us a tough game, and I expect the same thing from this Londonderry team. A lot like the Lowell uniforms out there, so it's there you go. Familiar in some sense. Yeah, of course. But, you graduated in 2020 yes, from UMass Lowell as a Riverhawk, the red, white, and blue being worn by the home team. Londonderry on that far sideline gathered up while the Cardinals continue to go through the routine. The crowd's already filing in, and most of this lower bowl aluminum seating pretty much filled. Got a cozy feeling here with a top deck, so to speak, where you can stand. Folks to our right starting to line up along the fence as well. It's an early start, 4 o'clock. You like that the varsity plays typically before the JVs, or would you prefer it the other way around? I think it's sometimes when the JVs play beforehand, they can come and watch the varsity team. So it's good in a sense for the JVs to sort of get some to watch the varsity guys and sort of learn from them. But I also like it when the JVs play after them. Some of the varsity guys will hang back and maybe give them some pointers on the sidelines while they're getting undressed. So I think either way it really benefits both teams. All right, the goaltending situation, as described by Coach Cameron, a good problem to have. He's got 4 capable guys. He said, in any other year, any 4 of those could start on my squad. Hard, I guess, early in the season to really determine a pecking order in the cage, right? Yeah, I mean, these are probably some of the best 4 goalies I've seen in BG history, really. I mean, I've played with some great ones, Jake Sonberg, Colin Casey, just to name a few. And, I mean, some of these 4 right here could play on any Division I team in New Hampshire. I think, again, you just kind of have to ride with who's been the hot goalie in the preseason and practices and during tryouts and go from there. It's a good thing where, okay, maybe if one guy doesn't perform up to his expectations in one game, you can just roll with the next goalie and see how he does. So really just a great it's a luxury to have.
Yeah, really is. Yeah, Coach. And he's got them all potentially for next year as well, as they're all underclassmen. Strong junior class overall for the Cardinals. Meanwhile, the Lancers, they graduated 19 players from a deep team a year ago, a playoff team in Division I, but Coach Sampson has really ramped up the off-season schedule. He doubled the practice sessions. He's got these guys in tournaments. And as I mentioned earlier, scrimmaging, really the name of the game over the last 3 weeks. The other approach adopted by Coach Cameron, he wants his guys as healthy as possible, so no scrimmages for BG. So we'll see if either approach bears fruit here early on in this one. All right, we'll step aside. When we come back, opening face-off on opening day here in Londonderry. You are watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another athletic program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
At Dead River Company, the work we do is about more than just filling up tanks. It's about the everyday moments in your home. We're here to fix your heating equipment, so you have heat and hot water for moments like this. We brave the elements, so you're always safe and warm. Anytime, day or night. Because it's moments like this that we do everything we do.
Dead River Company. It's not your job to worry about the heat. It's ours.
Become a customer today, and we'll be there for the moments that matter to you.
Underway here in Londonderry. Opening face-off goes to Bishop Guertin. The senior, J.J. Murphy, widely regarded as the best face-off specialist in the state, gets the Cardinals off to an early start here on their first possession. They're going to switch up here. Midfielders are now on the run, undetected. Firing a shot is Tim Kiley, the junior midfielder, as that one set sail. Just underway, first minute, first trip for Bishop Guertin. Nick Anastas, Cam Holt with you from Londonderry on opening day. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. Shot, score. That's Quinn Seipel, who just showed us why he may be the best attackman in the state. Back from a injury that really cost him all of last season. It's his first action since, playing there with that brace on the left knee. No problem there on that shot.
No, he showed in the preseason. I was there for a couple of practices. I mean, he looks as if he's not coming off an injury. He looks fresh. He looks like he's ready to be back on the field.
So Seipel pulls the trigger. And now Murphy is 2 for 2 at the X, and BG back at it here on the attack with a 1-0 lead. Two-man game near side. First touch for Aiden Laurendo, one of these veteran juniors Going to swing it behind the cage. A touch for Brady Dumont, sophomore, on the attack. Londonderry trying to match up. Connor Bouvier steps in along the far sidelines. Grass field here on a gorgeous day in Londonderry. Any preference with you, grass versus turf?
I was always a big turf guy.
Yeah.
When I was down in Florida, when I did my 5th year down Lynn, sometimes the turf got too hard.
There's a shot aiming for the 5 hole. That was kindly on the move. A good stomp there by Nathan Pedrick, the goaltender. I believe it's actually Pedrick. He's a sophomore.
Nice save.
Shows the stick speed there to get a piece. Keep this a 1-0 game, 2 minutes in. Seipel looking to attack. Ball goes out of his stick. A good chop by the goaltender. The sophomore comes away with it, and Londonderry gets the stop they were looking for. On the ride for the first time now, the Cardinals trying to pressure. On the clear, Pedrick able to find a man, and a good power move. This is Nick LeMay. The attack on the run to his right. Got a fire on the run. That is stopped by Connerty. That's the junior goaltender for BG, Zach Connerty. Helped his team to a championship victory last year as a sophomore. Gets the game's first save on the BG side of the field. Meanwhile, this ground ball is finally whistled out of bounds. Along that far sideline, we're going to get a push against Londonderry. It'll be BG ball.
It's actually going to be a man up for BG here.
Oh, we got a penalty.
Yeah, it was a push with possession.
You're right. I didn't see the flag. It's first penalty either way.
Let's see what this BG man up can come up with here. Obviously stacked. I mean, you have Timmy Kiley going to Sacred Heart, Connor Gabord going to Army, Quinn going to Brown, Lorendo going to Merrimack. I mean, you have D1 commits all over this man up here, so let's see what they can come up here in 30 seconds.
In the penalty box, Jack Byrne down on his right knee, hoping his teammates can elevate their play. Cardinals looking to make this a 2-0 game. Seipel shoots and scores. Goes over the left shoulder of the goaltender. That one from fairly deep, his second goal of this first quarter. And the Cardinals do cash in on the EMO.
It's safe to say I think Quinn has a pretty good long-range shot, and he shows it right there.
I'd say that came in with some speed. Seipel committed to Brown University.
I think the big X factor here in this game is going to be the face-off X. Obviously, JJ going to Bryant. Really, with a guy like him on your team, you can kind of play make it, take it. So let's see what Londonderry can come up with at
Murphy
the X.
able to free up the ball. Now 3 for 3 at the X, to your point. It's a kid that went 18 of 20 in last June's championship win over Exeter. 3 minutes in, first quarter. Cardinals controlled the action thus far. Look to make it a 3-0 game here at even strength. Connor Hughes, the junior, part of this second line. Coach talked about the depth, particularly at the midfield for Bishop Guertin.
Along with 2 sophomores, Caleb Young and Kevin Broderick.
Seipel behind the cage. Trying to free himself up to the left. Goes back door. Caught on the spin is Hughes. Forced out, though. A good piece of defense there. That's Camden Brutus, the defender matched up on that far side. 4 minutes in. Cardinals taking their time on this trip. Young. Step. Hughes on the run. Fires that one well high and out of play in the near corner. Well, Coach Sampson was hoping for some physical defense, hoping to gain an advantage on the ground ball count. So far, BG has more or less controlled the action at this side of the field.
Londonderry's defense, though, is very aggressive. You see they're not sort of sloughing off. They're playing a hard man-to-man defense right now, staying in the gloves of the BG attackers.
Pass across the zone, taken near side. Hughes gets it back. Giving room on the wing. Goal line extended.
Oh, that'll be a
Lorendo,
flag down. That'll be a flag down for a trip.
Penalty on the way.
On Devin Ortiz.
Looked like 2 defenders in the area, and yeah, Ortiz going to trot off. Head down, the long pole, headed to the box. Second penalty against Londonderry, with now nearly 5 minutes gone by in this opening frame. See the trip there. Laurendo and went airborne.
It'll be interesting to see if Coach Sampson tries to change his man up a little bit to sort of shade to Quinn, or if they'll still play.
Oh, shot, score. Brady Dumont, the sophomore, able to light the lamp. Pretty good angle there on the far side wing, and again, a man-up goal for BG.
Yeah, BG definitely making Londonderry pay for these penalties right now.
2 for 2. That one just seconds in. Dumont gets his first. And the Cardinal shooter sniping right now. 2 from Seapolt. Dumont there. And it's a 3-0 Cardinal lead. They've taken this Londonderry home crowd out of it early. Meanwhile, Murphy trying to go 4 for 4. Instead, the long pole comes over the top. That's Jesse Morin, able to secure it for Londonderry. Samuel Malia going to get rid of it. And now Coach Sampson trying to get the personnel right here for Londonderry's second trip.
Let's see if Londonderry slows it down a little bit. Their first possession, they tried to go a little running gun and got turned over, and it was going back the other way. So let's see if they try to slow it down, get a good long possession here, test out this BG defense.
Here's LeMay. He's going to fire instead. Foot race behind the cage ensues. It'll stay with Londonderry. That is one of the points, Cam, that Coach Sampson made to us yesterday on FNL Lacrosse, which can be heard every Sunday morning at 9 a.m., by the way. But he said he would like to get some passes, some extended possessions, and make that defense work a little bit. Trying to make the Cardinals work on this trip. They're going to pull it back out and reverse it. One-on-one for Byrne. To his right. Gets rid of it. Spin on the catch. Flag flies. This one whistled off. Shot went in, but not going to count. Logan Heward able to spin and fire there, but again, the whistle about a second before. Got a flag here, and it looks like the Cardinals are going to be hit with their first penalty. Yeah, that's Zach Kukalakis, the senior midfielder, one of the captains for Bishop Guertin, now over in the penalty box.
This would be a huge man up for Londonderry here if they can capitalize.
30-second penalty. Midway through first period. Lancers trying to get on the board. A little back and forth. Going to go behind the cage now. Logan Heward. Far wing, LeMay. Looking middle. That's Josh DeFrenzo. Hit immediately from a couple of different angles. Recovered, though, by Londonderry. Now a long pass.
And that's the benefit of playing on grass right there. If that was on turf, that ball rolled right over the midline. Would have been going the other way, but on grass it stops, and Londonderry keeps the possession here.
Yeah, Byrne able to get to it. However, back to even strength. Making a move along goal line extended. Melia forced back out. The big defender, Xavier Dunsmore, drawing the assignment here in the first half. LeMay wants a one-on-one up top. Going to bring Kiley to the left. Spin to his right. Drops it off. Byrne looks. Fires. Kennedy's there. Connerty now 2 for 2 with shots on goal. A couple of stops for the junior. And here is the clear for Daniel Woodford. Senior long stick mid. Gets rid of it. On the move to the right. Laurendo. Shot denied. Loose. Trying to stay with it is Woodford for the Cardinals, trying to box out a man from behind. Now a four-man scrum. It's still loose, rolling back towards the cage. And there is Pedrick. Sophomore goaltender gets to it. Now the Lancers look to clear on the far sideline. Ortiz, short pass middle. Taking Brutus, a swim move, lost the ball. Ground ball collected by the long pole for the Cardinals. Woodford pumps the brakes, lost possession. Still loose, Lancers back on it. Connor Howe. Comes to the near side. Make this Ortiz. Ortiz looking to free up a man. There's a hit at midfield. Good defensive play by Colin Rourke. However, ground ball goes back to Londonderry as Samuel Malia shoots on the run. That's a shot for John Bowman. Again, Connerty is ready. And another save for the BG goaltender.
Back and forth action right now.
Yeah, game picking up pace here as we at the 4-minute mark, first period. Cardinals back with it. trying to increase this 3-0 lead. Seipel going to go by his man and now pull it back out as the Cardinals look for a collective breath here. Seipel gets rid of it. Connor Giborg going to restart and bring his man to the left. Kiley, near side, Bouvier. Bouvier coming downhill. Frees himself up and goes 5-hole for the score. Connor Bouvier, the junior, with a terrific move, and it's now 4-0 Cardinals.
He took what the defense gave him right there. No one slid to him, and he stuck it low to high.
The junior headed to Holy Cross. Makes it now 4-0 BG, and a timeout here is called by Coach Sampson. Well, this is the start that Coach Cameron was hoping for. He's got a healthy roster, and right now as we head towards the tail end of this first quarter, his club's got a 4-0 lead on the road.
Yeah, it's definitely how Coach Cam drew it up. And but if I'm Coach Sampson, I'm not really hitting the panic button just yet because it's 4-0, but 2 goals are scored on the man up. Londonderry's had a few possessions where they've gotten a few good chances. So they're definitely still in this game. I think one thing that they have to watch out for is Coach Cam's trying to play the sub game a little bit, trying to get some numbers in the offensive zone. So you just have Londonderry has to make sure that they're getting their guys on early when riding and just making sure that they're matched up and not giving up odd man opportunities.
And as a player, communication important on the defensive end, right? Especially with the substitutions.
Yeah, definitely just that really comes from your goalie, making sure that everyone's matched up on their guy. If he sees sort of someone that's not picked up, he's yelling to his long poles or his D-middies to make sure that someone picks him up or they're at least dropped back into a zone to cover for the guy coming in over the midline.
First time out either way. Londonderry trying to pump the brakes on this BG train. The Champs off to a good start. Couple of goals in his return by Quinn Seipel, the junior. Brown commit, scored in the first minute. Scored his second 2 minutes after that to put the Cardinals out in front 2-0. Then Brady Dumont on a nice shot from the far wing, able to light the lamp up high, 3-0. And then it was Connor Bouvier a moment ago that led to this timeout from Coach Sampson. Meanwhile, BG's J.J. Murphy is 3 of 4 officially in this first period at the X. All right, out of the timeout. Connerty heading back. In net for Bishop Guertin. The junior got the start today. That wasn't, from my understanding, known amongst the players all the way until yesterday. That announcement was made. The decision came down. Again, Connerty, the elder statesman, so to speak, of a very talented quartet of goaltenders for Bishop Guertin. All right, Londonderry looking to respond out of the timeout. Pedrick Provost going up this time against the new man at X. That's Mitchell Lynch, senior, who gets the win. However, Londonderry a quick turnover as the ball was taken away by Drew Allen, the midfielder. Long pass, out of bounds. This one back to the Cardinals.
Big hit on the sidelines by Mitchell Lynch to get the ball back for BG.
Seipel, meanwhile, looking for this first quarter hat trick to his left. Goes upstairs and off the crossbar. We hear the metallic dings. That ball flies out of bounds, far corner.
It looks like Londonderry won the...
Yeah, surprisingly, they win the foot race. Good hustle by Michael Anstey. The attackman able to get there first. Here's the clear by Ortiz along the near sideline. This one contested. Another big hit. Dunsmore able to throw the shoulder, and now Dunsmore, after scooping up the ground ball, is going to fire and score. Xander Dunsmore in transition. St. Anselm, they've got a good player coming their way next year as the senior showing off the skills. Now 5-0 BG with still 2:27 to go in this first quarter.
A very nice ride by the BG team, too. Just funneling them to the sidelines, really giving them really no option to go, and then forcing the turnover and pushing transition. Looked like Xander was going to give that up to one of the attackmen, and looked like the goalie thought that too. And Xander was able to stick it low.
Murphy back at the X after he took the last face-off off for BG. Wins another one. Here he comes down the middle, left side, sets up. Seipel, who gets another. Now starting to put on a show here early, now 6-0. The two latest goals coming just 7 seconds apart. Seipel, now a hat trick here in the juniors' big return. Goes upstairs there and sneaks it in the corner, it looked like.
That's how a fast break should be run right there.
Yeah.
That's textbook.
Yeah, the assist for Murphy, who's back out there. This one loose. Coming in, throwing in a hip. It was Bobby Canaway the third to secure it for BG. Seipel, back door. Dumont never quite had it out in front. Loose and secured by Londonderry. Good hustle by Kyle McPhail. His pass, though, is knocked down. Near side, Malaya trying to fight off two, including Bouvier, who got a pretty good lick. Eventually gets some breathing room, pulls it back out, and Londonderry going to set up on the attack here with 100 seconds remaining in this first period. Lancers hoping to get on the board to stop the bleeding, trailing 6-0. LeMay to his right, sees an opening, shot deflected up in the air into the stick of Byrne. And then a quick shot in the middle is denied. Logan Heward, pretty good look. Third time is the charm. Logan Heward able to stay with it. Looks like he followed his own miss in traffic and gets Londonderry a much-needed goal here with 1:17 to go in the first quarter.
Very persistent effort right there. I mean, it was, 3 shots, 3 attempts, and he was able to bury it on the third. BG's defense definitely has to do a better job of sort of bearing down and checking sticks and when the ball's after your goalie makes a save like that.
And ground balls was one of the keys yesterday, outlined by Coach Sampson. They get the rebound there and 3 shots on that trip. Great individual effort as well by Heward to get his team on the board. However, Murphy wins the ensuing faceoff, and now with inside of a minute remaining, BG back to business. Pass, though, knocked down. Gutsy play by Kukulakis to secure it. Surrounded by white jerseys. Cardinals still with it as a result. Dumont goes low and scores. Able to curl himself around the defender, Anstey. Lights the lamp for the second time. BG gets that one right back to rebuild a 6-goal edge, 7-1 now.
It looks like Londonderry sort of switched to 3 poles up top covering the midfield, which is where BG was generating most of their chances, and Dumont realized they had a shorty for his matchup, and he took him to the rack.
And Dumont, just a sophomore, got pretty good size, it looks like, out there. Able to find some separation, a good one-on-one play.
He's definitely a promising attackman for Coach Cam.
Another one for Murphy. Looking to perhaps pull the trigger himself. He will. Shot and score. Well, you could tell that he was eyeing the cage there. Murphy, who nearly scored seconds into last June's championship game. That shot ended up off the crossbar, or maybe off the helmet, I think, of the Exeter goaltender. But this one is true as he goes upstairs to beat a new Londonderry goaltender, by the way. That was not the starter, Pedrick. That was, looks like number 34, who was not on my roster. Either way, Londonderry gets a much-needed face-off here. Still got time with 15 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Down the middle. Trying to spin out of trouble, LeMay. Back up top, Byrne. Byrne able to lose the defender. Pass, though, broken up on a backdoor attempt. Scooped up by Canaway the third, and that will do it for this opening quarter. BG flexing their muscles out of the gate. The champs on top 8-1 on the road here in Londonderry. Lancers looking for a response when we come back. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, a good start for the defending Division I champion Bishop Guertin as the Cardinals score 8 goals through the first 12 minutes. And after one quarter on the road in Londonderry, lead the Lancers by a score of 8-1. Nick Anastas, Cam Holt with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Opening day statewide. And the Cardinals widely seen once again as the preseason favorite, showing you why through 12 minutes.
If you're BG, you just have to keep winning face-offs, and if you're Londonderry, you had some success with 3 poles going up top on the wings, usually referred to as the tri-hawk, as some people call it, and they've been getting some pressure on Murphy. So we'll see if, and they do stick with that for the start of the second quarter. So we'll see if that brings them any success here.
Well, Murphy, who has won every face-off but one so far this afternoon, gets another. Now going to trot off the field after giving way to Seipel. Quinn Seipel, formerly of St. Joe's in Concord, transferred to Bishop Guertin last season. Injured his knee, missed the entire campaign, unfortunately, but worked hard, I'm sure, to get back to this point, and couldn't have written it up any better in his return. 3 goals, including 1 on the EMO in that first quarter. Going to get a touch here. Of course, teams have switched ends. Pedrick, by the way, is back in goal. The backup, Colby Walden, was the man on the field, I believe, on that last goal. Meanwhile, Kiley, a tough catch, takes a hit between the shoulder blades from behind, sets up Dumont, who strikes from deep. That's goal number 3 for Brady Dumont. The sophomore has been impressive. BG stays on a roll. It's now 9-1.
That play by BG, they just dodged down the alley. They were able to feed Kiley. He didn't really have anything on that initial feed. Got to the backside, and Dumont had time and space for a nice rip.
He has looked good in this first half now. 3 goals. Seipel with 3, Dumont with 3. They each scored a man-up goal early in that first quarter. Got a whistle. So stay with Londonderry. Logan Hurd with the lone goal for the home team in that first quarter. On a post-up, DeFrenzo. Short shot denied along the near post. Cannerty, I believe, his 4th save so far for the Cardinals. He's looked solid.
He's been lights out so far.
Going to try to direct the clear here. Gives way. Dunsmore going to split 2 defenders and cross midfield. Seipel now closed out by the defender. Comes off the rub. Near side. Gets the step. The shot denied. Good save upstairs. Nathan Pedrick read that one the entire way. The sophomore comes up with a good individual stop. However, Londonderry turns it over against the Cardinal ride, which has been formidable in this first half. Dunsmore takes a shot along the left shoulder, gets rid of it for Dumont, and back up top, Young will pump the brakes here for the Cardinals. BG, now 2 minutes gone by, threatening to extend their largest lead here. They scored the first 6 goals of the contest before Londonderry got on the board, and now looking to make it 4 straight since that point. Dumont looks to make a move to the cage. Going to pivot, come back around left side. Goes across the zone.
Nice save.
Fedrick read it well. Sophomore out of the net, trying to direct the break. Comes middle, and the Lancers give it away. Yancey never had it. Good ground ball picked up by the midfielder there for BG. I think that was a newcomer, Kevin Broderick.
And now it looks like BG's going to try to get their first mini line back on the field for some tired defensive Lancers here.
Yeah, that was a long possession. They forced the miss. And now have to do it again. Dumont gets inside of Anstey. Shot, score. Sneaks it looked like, just inside of that far post from our perspective. A tough angle either way. The Cardinals continue to roll here in this first half. It's now 10-1. Dumont now leading everybody with 4, including both BG goals here in the second quarter.
Looks like Londonderry will just go back to the one pole on the face-off here.
Murphy throwing his weight around. It's still loose. Canaway in the mix. Spins out of it for BG. A couple of ground balls in this first half for Bobby Canaway III, including a challenged one there. Here's a shot on the run. Ends up wide. Warrendo, pretty good look, though. It'll stay with the Cardinals. Cardinals have been able to take this Londonderry crowd pretty much out of it from the get-go. Scored on their first trip a minute in and have held the lead since. Kiley, lightning quick, going to fire himself and score.
And that will be a flag for a late hit.
Took a shot after the goal. Kiley able to bounce right back up. Cardinals a 10-1 lead now with just over 4 minutes gone by in this second quarter.
Sometimes you have to take the hit to make the play, and that's exactly what Kiley did right there. Stings one close side, but
he paid the price. Third penalty of this first half against Londonderry. Kiley speaking with the officials. I think they're just making sure the youngster's okay. And Junior says, I'm fine, let's do it again. Cardinals right back on it here. Full minute penalty on the board against Londonderry. BG threatening to take a double-digit lead for the first time here. They go up top. Seipel. Bouvier can't secure the low pass. This one going to roll toward the near sideline, eventually go out of bounds. Bouvier, I think the last to touch it there and a last-ditch effort to keep it alive. Therefore, Londonderry awarded it. Ortiz, the long stick. The long pass. It's broken up. Laurendow able to read the passing lane, and now a full-blown scrum here at midfield. Ball goes skyward. Pretty good hit in the mix there by Giebord, and now a whistle.
Timeout by Coach Cam.
And a timeout, Bishop Guertin. His man able to secure it, Laurendow. And Coach Cameron all over it, burning his first timeout to secure the possession. 10-1. BG out in front. That is a good look at Coach Cameron. Long-time Bishop Guertin head coach. 10 championships Obviously, you've got a good rapport with him, always have.
I do, yes.
Played with him and now coaching under him. Does he take on a little bit of a different persona on game days, especially with big games? Kind of a laid-back guy in general, but when it's time for business, it's time for business.
Yeah, I think during the week he's more laid back. He doesn't want to be too amped up at practice because he wants to make sure guys feel comfortable when they're learning new systems and new plays. But when he gets to the field, it's all business when he comes to the field. There's no joking around. He wants to make sure he gets the job done. And I think the players realize that and they feed off that. So they're not joking around on game. They come here expecting to win, and they put in 100% effort for a full 4 quarters here when they come play.
Meanwhile, the other side for Londonderry, you're down big here now, 11-1 with 7 minutes still to go until halftime. What's going on in that home huddle right now?
I think Coach Sampson's just telling them, we have to stick to the basics. I think one thing that they've had trouble with a little bit is clearing. I think BG's done a tremendous job of keeping pressure on Londonderry's clearing, which has given them a little bit of trouble. So I think if I'm Coach Sampson, I'm just telling the guys we have to make sure we help our teammates out, come back to the ball, and work the ball up the field. And again, you're not going to get 10 goals in one possession. You just have to go possession by possession, build off each one, and try to inch your way back into this game.
Here's a little give and go out of the timeout. Seipel, quick shot from the top of the box. Stays with the Cardinals. Dumont the closest to it. And BG again will cycle it around. Guibord back to his right. Wants one for himself. Shot, score. Boy, that shot went somehow through, it looked like the teeth of the defense. Ends up on target. Goes across the body, it looked like on the shot. A pretty one there for the junior midfielder. And BG's lead grows yet again, now 12-1 with inside of 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. So Guibord with his first of the afternoon. Another kid going to Army out of the BG program. Junior is committed to West Point. Meanwhile, another face-off win. Seipel, give and go, shot and score. Zach Kukalakis, the senior. Pretty play, tic-tac-toe goal, another. Just 11 seconds after the Guibord score. BG has now scored 5 unanswered, Cam, dating back to the final minute of the second quarter, and they lead by 12 now for the first time.
Shows that Seipel's not only a sniper, but he is a feeder too. You probably the goalie was expecting to shoot there, not give that up to the D midi screaming down the middle of the field, and good finish by Kukalakis.
First goal of the afternoon for Kukalakis. Meanwhile, a Lancer lost the stick. This ball ends up out of bounds. Josh DeFrenzo looking for a flag there, won't get one. Cardinals have it and await the restart as Young puts it in play. Going to draw the attention of the defense, come near side. It's Nick Dahl, one of the senior captains. Young, far side. The touch for Hughes. Leading the challenge here is Broderick. He says, okay, I'm just going to shoot. That went high and wide. It'll stay, though, with the Cards. Inside of 6 minutes to go until halftime. PG scored the first 6. They scored the last 7. Low pass handled by Young. Cardinals going to cycle it. Spin move. Looks for the 2-man game off the screen. Comes back to the near side wing. Again, it's Broderick. Broderick shut down that time by Anstey. 2-man game again near side. Seipel avoids the switch and then goes upstairs. Pretty kind of pick and roll on the near side. Seipel able to slip inside of the man off the switch. Lights the lamp upstairs for goal number 4 in this first half.
I think a theme for BG's offense this season so far, from what I can tell in the first 20 minutes of play here is a lot of pass down, pick downs. You're seeing it on transition, whether it's the Fogo or the LSM. He's giving it down the attack and is going to set a pick right there. Kevin Broderick sets a nice pick. Seipel comes off it and just stings one. So I think that's something that BG's going to try to sort of perfect as the season goes on, is those pass down, pick downs, because if the communication's not right on the defensive end, you can really tie up 2 defenders.
Look pretty for sure. Meanwhile, Murphy been nearly flawless at the X in his first half. Conaway, near side, shot, scores. Conaway on the assist. On the finish is Carter Jizokos, the sophomore. I believe with his first touch of the game.
Yeah, I believe he just subbed in.
I think so.
It's a good way to start.
I'd say. Able to catch and fire almost in the same motion. Pass on target. And able to punch his ticket is the young sophomore to extend this Cardinal lead to now 15-1 with inside of now 5 minutes to go in the first half.
And just an unselfish play all around from all the BG middies, making sure that everyone got a touch, really. No one was taking up the shot. They want to make sure they got the closest shot, and Jizokis buries it.
Cardinals are going to bring this one back to midfield and restart it after another face-off win. Canaway trying to shield off the defender, gives way now to Kiley. Kiley looking over at Coach Cameron, gives him the green light, draws the slide. Pass taken in the middle, shot upstairs, deflected by Pedrick, who cleans it up. Quick outlet, taken over the shoulder.
Oh, that's
good reception. DeFranzo gets knocked off his feet, and a penalty on the way against BG. That was Cam Brutus, not DeFranzo, who took the hit. Draws the second Cardinal penalty of this first half.
There's a big man up for Londonderry here. Yeah, the score is 15-1, but it's a good chance to sort of get your man up, a good rep, get a good possession. And even if you don't score on this man up, you can at least keep the ball and get an extended possession and maybe get a goal and just build some momentum here.
As you said, one goal at a time, can't get them all back. Trying to win one battle at a time here. Coach Sampson's club, the lone goal coming from Logan Heward late in that first quarter. Otherwise, this Cardinal defense has been nearly perfect. They're going to swing it far side, trying to make this defense move. Here's a shot, challenged. Quickly out of the stick of Connor Howe. Now the restart from the near side by DeFranzo. Inside of 4 minutes on the game clock, midway through this man up. Pass deflected on the far side, tracked down by Howe, who's in turn given room. Now goes goal line extended. This is LeMay. LeMay trying to muscle. Spins inside the defender, goes upstairs, gets knocked down as the shot goes wide. And now a late flag is going to come out.
Looks like it might be unnecessary roughness on Dunsmore. He came cross crease and delivered a big hit on LeMay.
Yeah. Looked like LeMay kind of jumped up into the air towards the defender.
I thought that was a pretty clean hit.
Coach Cameron, not sure how he feels about it. He's got his arms crossed over there on the sideline. Had a word for Dunsmore. So a two-man advantage for the next 10 seconds. Londonderry trying to cash in upstairs.
Nice save by Connerty.
On the doorstep, says no way.
Let's see if Londonderry can ride it back here.
Going to go back to the goaltender. Killed off the first penalty, 45 remaining on the second. Long outlet, challenged by Ortiz. Pops it up in the air. Byrne trying to scoop it for Londonderry. Instead, it's still on the ground. Trying to box out near side is Jizokos, the youngster. Able to scoop it. Takes a shot near the chin there. Pretty piece of lumber laid out by Nick LeMay, and that may have been a little too excessive there for the officials' taste.
Jizokis pops right back up, though.
Yeah.
He took that on the chin. He popped right back up.
Smallest guy in the field, but showing some toughness. Able to draw a flag and help his team here with just outside of 3 minutes remaining until halftime. It's all Cardinals here. 15-1 and a penalty on the way against Londonderry. Coming up at halftime. Full recap of the first half. Get you some stats, highlights, and analysis, plus a look around the league on opening day. Hope to get some scores coming your way, coming up at halftime in just a few moments. All right, Londonderry force a turnover. And now look to kill off the final seconds of the BG EMO. Short pass, though, ends up out of bounds. Into the visitor sideline. Cardinals, that ride really effective, Cam, to your point in this first half for BG.
It's just another way to get possessions back in the game. You have the face-off, and if you're winning the face-offs, if you're making your ride pretty hard to clear against, it's just extra possessions that your team gets.
They can add up.
A little wheel action here.
Tough angle shot, ends up wide. Kylie eyeing the net on that one. Would have been Kylie's second of this first half. Here's a shot, goes wide. Pretty good look, though, from out front. Londonderry gets to it. Nobody on the backside there for BG.
Looks like Pedrick caught the BG attackman sleeping, and he ran it out before the attackman could get to that end line. Londonderry gets a chance to, again, clear the ball.
Back to even strength. 2 minutes remaining. Ortiz up the near sideline. Brutus, middle, spin move for Bjorn. Going to split two defenders and get chopped
and there's
down.
Another flag.
Flag comes out. Giebord thought he made a clean hit there. Jumps up and down in frustration.
Now, that was a very good clear by Londonderry right there. And if that's something that they can sort of settle it down in the clear, I mean, there is no shot clock like there is in college lacrosse, so they have time to clear the ball. They still have to get over in 20 seconds, but they have to take their time. They don't need to rush it right away. And just like that, they cleared it with really no pressure from BG, and it draws a penalty.
Yeah. Trying to build here late in the first quarter. Another minute penalty against the Cardinals. Been a penalty-filled first half both ways. 3 for each team. Final 100 seconds on the game clock. Near side, we got a shot. Ends up behind the cage. DeFranzo with a tough angle. Restarted by Howe in the far corner. Cardinals trying to communicate here short-handed. Behind the net, LeMay. Near side again, DeFranzo. Upstairs, cycled right side. In the middle, Heward surrounded, getting pushed out. Down to 15. On the penalty, LeMay spins, fires. Pretty good job to get that off, but goes wide. Now DeFranzo looks at the clock, just 11 seconds remaining on the EMO, down to 1 minute remaining in this first half. DeFranzo, LeMay back to the cage. DeFranzo calling for it. LeMay instead slips his man, but lost the ball. And the ground ball goes to the Cardinals. Dylan Young, the junior, Johnny on the spot there. BG kills off the penalty. Connerty launches a long pass. Kukalakis draws a slide. Taken now on the near side. Jizoko's going to backpedal. Lost it. Good play by the long pole there for Londonderry.
Let's see if the Lancers can push transition here.
LeMay trying to clear. Being hunted down from behind. Down to 20 on the game clock. LeMay fires on the run and scores. Nick LeMay. Pretty shot there for the junior. Going full speed downhill. Londonderry able to strike late here just before halftime. Inside of 20 seconds, BG's lead trimmed to now 15-2.
That's a positive note to take into the half right there. If I'm Coach Sampson, I'm definitely telling my team at halftime to make sure the last two clears we had have led to really good offensive chances. So it just shows if you can clear the ball, they're going to get chances because this Londonderry team is pretty talented.
You're going to win a face-off here and look for one more in the closing seconds of this first half, down to 10 seconds. Melia wants it himself. Connerty comes over and robs him. Outlet taken with now 3 seconds remaining. They see a shot here from midfield. It's going to go wide, and that will do it. BG, in dominating fashion, take a 15-2 halftime lead here on the road over Londonderry. Lancers, however, with perhaps a silver lining, they get one more with just a couple of seconds to spare before the halftime break to at least give them something to build on, but a lot of work to do for the home team, trailing big at halftime 15-2.
And I think the score is a little sort of larger than it seems because, I mean, Londonderry, it doesn't seem 15-2. It feels like they should have more than 2 goals. They had a few man-up opportunities, which I'm sure Coach Sampson's going to go over them as they go in the corner. Sort of talk some schematics and figure out, okay, what can we do on man-up that wasn't really working? It looked like sort of maybe they were holding the ball at X for a little too long. So quick ball movement can really break any man-down defense. So I think that's what they're going to stress. And maybe, I mean, who's number 11? Logan Heward. He's been really good inside trying to find space in there. So if they can sort of set up some plays for him where he's open off a few backside rotations, I think it's really going to open up some offense for Londonderry's man up. And just clearing. Again, the last 2 clears that Londonderry had, they cleared it with really no issues at all. Good ball movement. They got up the field, and they actually got 2 good offensive chances. So I think that's something that Coach Sampson, the last 2 minutes of that second quarter, was a good positive for Londonderry to go into the halftime at.
Yeah, they did some good things there in the last couple of minutes, drew some penalties, got some shots, as you mentioned, a couple of clears, and obviously all that culminating with their second goal. But BG really looked good throughout most of that first half,
yes,
particularly on the attack. 4 goals apiece from Brady Dumont and Quinn Seipel. Sprinkle a few others in there, but it seemed like the attack revolving around those 2 guys, and they certainly produced.
Yeah, right now BG looks like a well-oiled machine, and they're only 1 game in, so they're only going to get better. They still have some things to work on, but again, a key thing right now is face-offs, right? Murphy's winning them almost at ease. Londonderry did have some success with 3 poles going up on the wings on the face-offs, which I don't know what they got away from with that. That's what maybe some guys are getting tired. But something that definitely that they should get back to in the second half is just putting 3 poles up top and really making Murphy handle the pressure with 3 poles on him, because it's never easy with 1 pole on you to handle pressure, let alone 3. So that's something that maybe Coach Sampson might want to adjust to for the second half.
All right, take a break, come back, recap that first half, try to track down some out-of-town scores early on this opening day statewide. The 2022 Boys Lacrosse season kicking off here with our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another athletic program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
At Dead River Company, the work we do is about more than just filling up tanks. It's about the everyday moments in your home. We're here to fix your heating equipment, so you have heat and hot water for moments like this. We brave the elements, so you're always safe and warm. Anytime, day or night. Because it's moments like this that we do everything we do.
Dead River Company, it's not your job to worry about the heat. It's ours.
Become a customer today, and we'll be there for the moments that matter to you.
Halftime here in Londonderry, Bishop Guertin leading the Lancers 15-2, the defending Division I champions, looking again like the favorite. Pretty smooth first half for Coach Cameron's club as they kick off the season with a bang. They welcome back the return of the junior Quinn Seipel, who made his imprint right away. Former St. Paul's product and future Brown standout, able to get his team on the board within the first minute. Aiden Laurendo, I think, had the assist officially on that. Seipel, not long after, made it 2-0 BG as they continued to pile up possessions due to face-off wins from senior J.J. Murphy. Then, Brady Dumont, sophomore attackman, made his first imprint, scoring a goal about 5 minutes in on a man-up, second man-up goal for the Cardinals in that first quarter. And then pretty good play from Connor Bouvier a little over 60 seconds later. That led to a Londonderry timeout as Coach Sampson tried to stop the bleeding. Didn't quite work. Dunsmore scored again. Seipel scored his third with just outside of 2 minutes to go in that first quarter. That's when Logan Heward got Londonderry on the board with a pretty goal in traffic to make it 6-1, cut the gap down to 6-1. However, Dumont answered a moment later. Cardinals led 8-1 after one. Dumont, the first two of the second quarter, to push his total up to 4. Kiley able to score and then draw a penalty for Bishop Guertin about 4 minutes into that second quarter. Guy Board, Kukalakis back-to-back within 11 seconds of each other. Seipol's fourth, and then the sophomore Jazokis made it 15-1. Bright spot for Londonderry as they get a last-minute goal there from Nick LeMay to send Londonderry into the locker room, still trailing big 15-2.
Yeah, and taking a quick look out right now for the opening lineup for the second half. A lot of new faces, a lot of new numbers for BG. So Coach Cam testing their depth early on. It looks like Liam O'Keefe is going to be in net instead of Carnady. the freshman getting the start for the second half.
Yeah, Connerty, the junior, highlighting what Coach Cameron called maybe his deepest quartet, most talented quartet of goaltenders he's had. Connerty, the veteran who helped out with that championship win victory over Exeter back in June. Really the starter all season. So we get a look at O'Keefe, who Coach Cameron said was perhaps a top 5 goaltender in the country. And here he is, the freshman, making his high school debut. That's quite the praise.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to actually coach him on Tomahawks in the fall on the 25 Purple team, which a couple of guys on this team were on my team in the fall. And we would travel all over the country. And, again, time after time, Liam O'Keefe stood on his head in some games where, I mean, he was playing against some of the most highly touted midfielders and attackmen, so he was showing why he's one of the best goaltenders in the country in his class.
The freshman making his debut here to begin the third quarter. Cardinals win another face-off. The big body Dan Woodford, senior long stick mid. A couple of ground balls in that first half. Gets one here to set the tone and get us going here in the third quarter. BG on the attack. They're going to drop a pass, though, in that far corner. Ortiz, who has held his own for Londonderry, gets to another ground ball for the Lancers. Comes across the zone near side. Londonderry looking for more consistency against the BG ride. They clear this one with a short pass along the near sideline. And now look to settle in. Melia gets to step on the defender, comes towards the cage, now behind the net, trying to operate. DeFranzo, one-on-one foot race from deep behind the net, trying to keep his balance, spins to his right, getting hacked at by the defender from behind. That's Ryan Kelly, who's riding him a little too hard for the officials' taste. Flag flies. This one whistled dead. Comes to a stop with just over now a minute gone by in this third quarter. Looks like another penalty on the way against the Cardinals.
And again, another lesson that Coach Sampson can sort of take from that is when you clear the ball, you get chances. It wasn't a goal, but now they're going to have a man-up opportunity just because they can clear the ball and get to their offense. So let's see, again, like I said before the half, let's see if Londonderry makes any changes to their man-up. They went 0 for in the first half, so let's see if they make any changes to, again, shorten this lead here.
Meanwhile, though, they are starting to draw penalties.
Yes, they are.
Saw 2 in, the final 2 minutes before halftime. We see one here with just over a minute gone by in this third quarter. That can't sit too well with Coach Cameron.
No, and again, Coach Cam has always been a huge stressor of discipline, whether it's his no matter really who's in there for him, whether it's their starters or it's their third string defenseman. He always stresses discipline. That goes from the top down. So yeah, he definitely is not going to be happy about that, and he's definitely going to be giving his guys a pep talk on the sidelines.
Londonderry, meanwhile, like you said, Cam, trying to move the rock, so to speak, with some short passes here, trying to free something up. However, this one nearly turned over. DeFranzo couldn't quite pick it, backed up, though, by Byrne. Back door for Howe. Now a foot race along the near sideline. It'll stay with Londonderry.
Good kill by BG. And again, Londonderry really has to look inside for Logan Heward. He's pretty slippery inside, so if they can get the ball around and he can catch his defender lacking a little bit.
And drawing the assignment right now is Nick Dahl, one of the co-captains for BG, trying to keep a close eye on Heward. There's the back door for Howe, in and out of his stick. Loose to the corner. A couple of bodies collide, and now it looks like a 4-player scrum. It is Dahl who emerges. Dahl on the run. Comes back near side for the goaltender O'Keefe. Long outlet taken by Woodford. Good clear by the Cardinals. BG back on the attack with 2.5 gone by. Third quarter.
Another pass down, pick down right there.
Defended well by the Lancers. Long pass, errant pass, kept alive near midfield. Good play by BG. On the move, Dunsmore. Runs into opposition, puts the brakes on. Dane Duarte, the defender.
It's been all Londonderry the first 5 minutes of this third quarter. Let's see if BG tries to slow it down and sort of regain some of that momentum.
Trying to settle in here as the wind howls. Been a gorgeous afternoon. Opening day statewide here in New Hampshire. To the left. Young trying to swim past 2 defenders. They'll swing it and reverse it. Patient possession by BG.
Here's Broderick.
Broderick to the middle. Shot denied. Good save upstairs, Pedrick. Sophomore has certainly faced more than his fair share amount of shots and starting to pile up a few saves. Was under siege there in that first half for a spell, but
that's like 3 or 4 straight saves for Pedrick right now.
Yeah,
so he's starting to get hot.
Holding his own. Hoping the attack can help him out here on the scoreboard. Lancers looking for just their 3rd goal of the afternoon. 4 minutes in, 3rd quarter. Nick Anastas, Cam Holt with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. First of 3 live broadcasts that'll be coming your way this week. We'll be at Bedford for Pinkerton and Bedford on Thursday. Here's a shot, ends up wide. Loose behind the cage, still loose.
Good stick by Ryan Kelly to knock down that pass.
Ultimately, it's LeMay who tiptoes his way out of a crowd for Londonderry to keep it at this end. LeMay being pushed out. Going to swing it up top. This is Byrne. Going to backpedal. And now wants a one-on-one. Trying to bring the defender to the right. That's Noah Guevara. Shot picked up. Duarte lets it rip. Ends up high, out of play. It'll stay with Londonderry.
They're putting together a good offensive possession right now.
Yeah.
Trying to tire down that BG defense.
Nearly 5 minutes in, 3rd quarter. Score has not moved since halftime. Here's a shot. Tough angle, and the freshman O'Keefe comes up with a save. Long outlet, over the top, can away. Unchallenged upon the catch. Finally draws a crowd. Flips it off to Jazokos. Back out. New player. This is Micah Dunsmore, the sophomore, getting some action here in the 3rd quarter. Coming up the midway point of the frame. BG, their largest lead came late in that 2nd quarter when they led 15-1. Trying to rebuild that 14-goal edge here and be the first team to score since halftime. To the left, that one wide by a foot or so.
I couldn't tell if Pedrick got a piece of that or not.
Didn't see it. Well, Jazokos, who scored in that first half for BG. Trying to direct some traffic. Chris Prangley, junior midfielder, getting some action here. So it looks like Coach Cameron's starting to see some of those reserve lines here, what they can do in live action. On the reversal, Jazokos driven out by Ortiz, and that forces an off-target pass. Eventually, though, is going to be scooped up by Prangley.
Londonderry's putting a lot of pressure on the BG's middies in attack right now. They're really getting in their hands, and they're spraying them out really far.
Meanwhile, this is Riley Gwynn, freshman, on for the first time. Good dodge, frees up a good look for Dunsmore, but he goes wide. Again, it'll stay with BG. Another new player on, Jacob Karen Jr. comes from behind the cage.
Another
fires.
save by Pedrick.
He's been on target here. However, this one is going to be turned over on the outlet pass. Scooped up. Karen down the middle. Able to score for Bishop Guertin. The junior going head first towards the cage there. Looked like he did a somersault after scoring his first goal of the afternoon. BG matches their largest lead from the first half. Now out in front 16-2.
Again, like I've been preaching all day, the riding and clearing, that's what's going to win you games. And right there, Karen gets stuffed in tight on his initial shot. He gets the ball back on the ride, stuffs it home to make it 16-2.
Got the running clock here with the 10-goal gap in the second half. Meanwhile, another BG Cardinal face-off man, Mitchell Lynch, who saw him took one, I believe at least one in that first half.
A snoo commit.
Yep. On the run, shot high from Canaway. Yeah, the story, I guess, with Lynch was that J.J. Murphy, the starter, the specialist, was looking for someone to rep with and said, hey, you want to come out? And next thing you know, he's now got himself a scholarship to play for the Penmen.
And that just shows how dedicated Murphy is to his craft, so to speak.
Yeah, they call it Boomer's Face-Off Academy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a secret society within the sport. Everybody knows each other, right? They know their pros and weaknesses.
Not only is he getting better, but he's helping guys progress in their own game, and gets Lynch a nice little commit to Snow.
Yeah. Of course, Murphy himself will be with the Bryant Bulldogs next year. Meanwhile, what looked like a promising clear there for the Londonderry goes off the rails at the very end. Pass ends up out of bounds on that far side, and now BG will come right to left with a clear of their own as we move inside of 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. 16-2 is the Bishop Guertin lead. They have not trailed in this season opener. Spin, shot, bouncing score.
That was pretty by Broderick right there.
Kevin Broderick, the sophomore, was starting to put together a pretty good game. Did some of the smaller things, played well in that first half. Now gets his name in the scorer's book for the first time with that bouncer to make it 17-2.
And Coach Cam takes into consideration how well these guys play in the third and fourth quarters of these games. I know they're sort of the second, third line maze, but they're trying to earn more reps later on down the season. And that's something that Coach Cam will definitely look at Broderick and know that he's capable of making a move like that.
Meanwhile, Lynch going to poke it free, can away, trying to stay inbounds. Able to get rid of the ball at the last split second. Another big hit here. Cardinal is on his back, shaking up a bit. Flag is going to fly, and I believe a Londonderry penalty is on the way. Another flag.
Looks like it's going to be unsportsmanlike, the same thing. It looked like Michael Anstey wasn't too happy with that call on the initial hit.
May have had something to say to the official. Afterwards, you see Anstey trotting off there, and that's when a second flag flew at midfield. So 2 penalties perhaps on the way against the Lancers. Meanwhile, again, the clock continuing to tick as the officials look to clarify this thing here. We march down towards a minute to go on this third quarter game clock.
Be interesting to see if they give him 2 penalties or so it'll be a 6-on-5 for extended period of time, or it'll be a 6-on-4. It looks like it's going to be 6-on-5, and Anstey will probably serve a double minor, so to speak.
Yeah, Anstey down there on his right knee in the box, the only player on his knee. Officials are still talking this over. All right, Seapole is back on. Bouvier looks like the starting unit here.
Yep, Coach Cam wants to get some more reps in there. And
got 30 seconds left to do so here late in the third quarter. Guiboard behind the cage. Dumont looking for a cutter. Comes near side. Guibold upstairs. Seapole looking to fire. A couple inches high there as it sails over the crossbar. 15 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Almost identical to their first play and Seapole's first goal of the game.
Shot, score. Bouvier says enough of that. Tough angle there, deep on the wing. Lights the lamp and scores for the second time this afternoon. That'll put an exclamation point on the third quarter for the Cardinals. They increase their lead now to 18-2 as we head to the fourth quarter. Right back to Londonderry in just a moment. You're watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471 888-858-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Londonderry. It's all Bishop Guertin, the defending champion Cardinals, leading the Lancers 18-2. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week, presented by Beals Insurance. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also brought to you in part by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com and start raising money for your team today. Also by the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit nhtomahawks.com and also girls.nhtomahawks.com. And finally by the Dead River Company, a full-service heating provider committed to keeping New Hampshire warm with propane and heating oil. Learn more at deadriver.com. Nick Anastas, Cam Holt with you. Season opener statewide here in 2022. And the defending champion on the boys' side, the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, showing you why they are perennial favorites. Cam, they came out with an exclamation point. 8 goals in that first quarter. Built up a 15-2 edge at halftime. They had 3 more in that third quarter. And despite what looked like Londonderry's best punch there a moment ago, somehow extend their lead and now comfortably sit out in front here, 18-2 to start this fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's definitely been a good showing for BG. Obviously, it's the first game of the season, so they have some kinks to sort of smooth out. But Coach Cam's definitely got to be pleased on the sideline. And for Coach Sampson's Lancers, again, I know the score says 18-2, but it's not all that bad for them. I mean, obviously they've had some guys, Logan Heward, Devin Ortiz, have played a really good game today.
Yeah.
And Pedrick, he made in that third quarter 5 or 6 straight saves. So he was just starting to get hot. So not at all a horrible game for the Lancers. They definitely have some things to improve upon, but definitely some bright spots in this game that they've seen.
Now here's Cam Brutus. Pretty good play there on the ground ball, able to escape several green jerseys. However, it's turned over as Sam Melia never quite had it. Ground ball scooped up by the Cardinals, and BG able to cross midfield unharmed, moving left to right now in this fourth quarter. In the middle, shot denied. New goaltender for Londonderry, Colby Waldron, who played briefly in that first half, but he's looked pretty good here.
And also new goalie for BG, Will Murphy, as he makes that save.
Yeah, Murphy just came on. Saw the junior Connerty get the start, play the first half. The freshman O'Keefe came on for the duration of that third quarter.
I think it's something to be noted right there. On that clear, you had Joshua DeFranzo. He's selling out, really just diving for that trail check on Jack Casey, and that just shows for Londonderry. It seems like they aren't giving up. Obviously, it's 18-2, and they don't want to give up in this game, and that's something that. So props to Coach Sampson. I mean, he has his guys bought in. They're still fighting till the last buzzer here. Nice save.
Yeah, been dialed in since coming on. Loose behind the net. Another big hit behind the cage. Londonderry long outlet pass.
And Ortiz is going to push it here. The Lancers have numbers.
Going to set something up.
Nice goal.
Shot, score. Well, again, Heward able to free himself up. And cash in, scored the first goal for Londonderry way back late in that first quarter. Gets his second goal of the game here. Lancers still showing some fight 3 minutes into this fourth quarter. Now 18-3.
That's a full field goal right there. Starts down with the goalie, makes a save, grabs the ground ball, gives up to Ortiz, and Ortiz pushes. He sees that he has numbers, gives it to Heward, and Heward buries it. Make it 18-3 with 8:45 in the fourth.
Another face-off as well for Londonderry. McPhail in the middle, up in the air. Heward knocked off the ball, knocked to the ground.
Another bright spot for Londonderry has been Kyle McPhail. He's played pole, he's played a little bit D-midi, sort of like their Swiss Army knife for Londonderry. Had a nice ground ball pickup on that face-off, and he gets the Londonderry Lancers another offensive possession here.
Londonderry has played from behind from the get-go. BG scored the first 6 goals of the contest. 3 of them from the junior Quinn Seipel. Another stop, meanwhile, in cage for Londonderry. Murphy, quick outlet. And a speedy clear there for the Cardinals. A couple passes later, they're at the
Nice
cage.
save.
Another denial. Walden read that one well.
It's a goalie showcase right now in the fourth quarter. Both goalies making saves on both sides of the field.
Yeah. High-scoring first half. 15-2 was our score after 2 quarters. BG out in front. Seems like both the goaltending and the defensive play is elevated here in the second half. Of course, Coach Cameron's starting to get more reserves in there to get a look at what he's got coming off the bench. Meanwhile, Jeremy Warren draws a slide, shoots and scores. That one a quick one. Points at the bench after. Quick trigger for the freshman, Jeremy Warren, his first ever varsity goal, first ever high school goal. Pushes BG's lead now to 19-3 as we head towards the midway point of this fourth quarter.
It's always good to see that when a freshman gets his first career goal. He's in there at the end of the game, and the starters on the sidelines, all the upperclassmen, are getting up for him, making sure that he feels the love from his teammates.
Yeah, make sure everybody's still engaged, right? It's easy sometimes to let your mind drift when it's a one-sided, lopsided score, but you want to be there for your teammates, right?
Exactly. And again, another thing that Coach Cam stresses is making sure that even though you're not playing, you still play a pretty vital role when you're on the sidelines, whether you're a starter or you're a reserve. If you're coming in and you're on the sidelines, you got to make sure you're cheering on your teammates.
Another good play here.
Ortiz is coming on in the second half.
Yeah, the ground balls have been collected often today by number 19 in white. Meanwhile, swimming towards the cage. Not sure if he got a piece of that in the end, but another good stop on the doorstep for Will Murphy. Sophomore has come on here in this fourth quarter after sitting through the first 3. Inside of 6 minutes to go here in regulation. Now, BG, they're going to have Nashua North coming up. It seemed they played 3 times last year. Only going to see them, I think, once this time around as the schedule gets back to normal, so to speak, which means for Bishop Guertin, 6 out-of-state opponents, all of them pretty good when it comes to teams in New England. And, of course, Coach Cameron has said he wants to challenge his group like he challenged you guys in the past, Cam, right? And that's keep your sword sharp with out-of-state competition, right?
Yeah, I know, and again, you play those games so that way when you go play the Pinkertons, the Exers, you've been battle-tested, and because then though some of the teams they play in Mass, like the Zavarian Brothers, I believe they'll play. I don't know if they'll play Duxbury or not, but definitely Zavarian Brothers, BC High. I mean, all those teams are perennial superpowers in Mass. And just to see different faces, there's not much film on those guys, so you can't really watch how they play. So it's a whole new opponent when they play them. Really just ramps up the intensity in those games.
Meanwhile, a couple of good shots over the last minute or so. Sebastian Zeman, senior attack, shut down on the doorstep.
Walden with another nice save on a Prangley shot.
Walden's putting together a strong fourth quarter for Londonderry as we move towards 4 minutes remaining. Meanwhile, Walden comes out of the cage to help out his teammate, throws a long pass down the near sideline. Loose, scooped up. Good play by the long pole, Colin Foley. Another freshman cutting his teeth here in quarter number 4 for Bishop Guertin. Comes back middle, the trailer. Shot jammed up from behind. Good defensive effort in traffic there by Heward. Outlet, Londonderry able to clear. On the move, Robbins, nowhere to go. And another quick long outlet by Moore. Trotting down, uncontested down the middle here for BG is Foley.
Oh!
Trying to find the senior with a cross-zone pass, but Zeman couldn't quite reel it in. He tracks it back down, though, in the corner.
Foley went for the fake shot there to fake up the goalie and ended up faking out his own player that he wasn't really ready for the pass.
A little too unselfish, maybe. Coming up on 3 minutes here, fourth quarter. Coming up after the game, full recap here from Londonderry. Get you set for our upcoming broadcast as well. Pinkerton at Bedford. That's coming your way Thursday night, 6:30.
That's going to be a great game.
Yeah. Two perennially good teams. Meanwhile, shot here, whistled. Looking for a flag there was Ryan Jolicoeur. The senior just came on.
He will be going to Riv next year.
Yeah. Yeah, Jolicoeur. Looks like got knocked down from behind. I think that was his gripe. Officials let it play. Londonderry comes the other way. Quick shot on the move is wide. Good effort there by Brandon Savage.
Good ball movement there by Londonderry. And it looks like Michael McDonough, who is the fourth goalie for BG, will come in the last 3 minutes here.
And he's in there now. Pass across the zone, ends up wide on the shot. Heward will put it in play. And now we're inside of 2 minutes. Lancers looking for one more. They fought hard today. Here's Riley Bowles who's come on. Comes left side. Shot there, jammed up. And that was not Bowles, rather. That was actually Benjamin Pedicula. Final 100 seconds. Coach Sampson, you can hear, still coaching his guys up over there on the sideline. Shot, score, you're right. Another one there. That's goal number 3 for Heward, who has held his own here, as you highlighted, Cam, in that first half. Demanded a lot of tension in the middle, and again, going to fight for the full 48 minutes here, able to dive towards the net and get that one for Londonderry.
He's a defender's worst nightmare because he's one of those guys that once you turn your head and you're looking at the ball, he's going to cut back door. He's really just a great off-ball player, and clearly shows there. It looks like Sam Malia found him on the back door, and he was able to get a nice diving goal there.
Heward with 2 goals in this fourth quarter, 3 in the game. Final minute from Londonderry. Bishop Guertin about to come away with a wire-to-wire opening day victory for the second time in as many seasons. Not sure what the final score will be yet. Count that one for Melia. Scores on the move. Pretty good shot there. Looked like across the body on the back foot. Lancers get 2 in the final minute plus to now make it 19-5.
Good dodge there by Malia. Really nothing to lose at this point, so you might as well see what he's got with his matchup. And
one final ground ball for Byrne. And he's going to take us down here for the final 5 seconds. On the run, shot,
nice
save
by McDonough.
McDonough able to read that one well, and that'll do it. Bishop Guertin, the defending champions, impressive in their season opener. 19-5 is the final. This one never in doubt. Cardinals came out swinging. 8 goals in that first quarter. Held a commanding 15-2 lead at the break. Led in the first half by both Quinn Seipel, the junior, and by the sophomore Brady Dumont. Both had 4 goals before halftime. Second half, running clock, a little more defensive-oriented. Londonderry able to do some things, including score 2 goals in that final frame. As Aiden Hewitt ends up as Londonderry's high man with 3 goals. But all in all, Cardinals showing you why they are considered once again as the favorites in Division I. What do you take away from this if you're BG? And on the other side, how do you cope with a loss like this, Cam, if you're Londonderry?
If you're BG, I think it's a great way to start the season. You always want to start off on a high note, but to again, put up 19 goals, no matter who it is, that's a good showing offensively, and to only hold a team to 5 goals. Again, no matter who it really is, that's a good defensive effort. but playing for Coach Cam and coaching with Coach Cam, it's not good enough. So it's definitely going to be, again, they're going to go back to practice, and they're going to sort of put this game in the rear view. They don't want to say, oh, we won 19-5. It's going to come easy now. No, they have a target on their back since being the defending state champion. So every day at practice, they have to come to work, because if Londonderry sort of cleaned up that first quarter, this would have been a lot closer game. And once you get a game close, anything can really happen come the fourth quarter. So Coach Cam is definitely going to stress getting back to just staying with the fundamentals, right? Perfecting both sides of the ball. And again, J.J. Murphy was huge in this game. Almost played pretty much make it, take it, which, again, when you're a lacrosse team and you have a Fogle like that, it's a huge luxury.
Yeah. All right, we'll come back. Final numbers, final recap, final thoughts in just a moment when we return to Londonderry. BG a winner tonight in the opener, 19-5. You're watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another athletic program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
At Dead River Company, the work we do is about more than just filling up tanks. It's about the everyday moments in your home. We're here to fix your heating equipment, so you have heat and hot water for moments like this. We brave the elements, so you're always safe and warm. Anytime, day or night. Because it's moments like this that we do everything we do.
Dead River Company, it's not your job to worry about the heat. It's ours.
Become a customer today, and we'll be there for the moments that matter to you.
Bishop Guertin, a wire-to-wire victory in the season opener. They beat Londonderry 19-5 to open up at 1-0, and really got going early in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. They scored within the first minute. The return to the field for junior Quinn Seipel. Missed all of last year with a leg injury. He looked good today, especially in that first quarter. Scored the first two of the season for BG within the first 3 minutes of the game. And then the sophomore, Brady Dumont, looking good. Saw him last year as a freshman make contributions, but he looks like he's going to be a major piece of the attack here moving forward for Coach Cameron. Scored 4 times today. The first 6 goals, all in that first quarter, went BG's way. Seipel the first 2. Dumont, by the way, the second Seipel goal and the Dumont goal were both man-up goals, so Londonderry taking advantage of the EMO early. Bouvier, Dunsmore, and then a third from Seipel made it 6-0 with just outside of 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Then Londonderry got on the board. Heward, first of 3. However, Dumont came up with an answer in the final minute for the Cardinals to make it 8-1 after 1. Early second quarter, Dumont picks up where he left off. 2 more to extend the lead to 10-1. Kiley had a good goal, knocked down in the process, drew a flag. And then it didn't take long for BG to cash in yet again. Giebord, his lone goal of the afternoon. Kukalakis, the senior, comes just 11 seconds later with a goal of his own. Seapold's fourth of that first half comes just outside the 5-minute mark. And then down the stretch, just before halftime, the sophomore Jazokis able to check in with his first goal of the season. And a good goal late for Londonderry's Nick LeMay to at least give a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for Londonderry at a halftime. Still a big BG lead of 15-2. Second half, third quarter. Karen on a great individual effort. Broderick, Bouvier. In that order, Cardinals outscored the Lancers 3-0 in the third to really kind of put this to bed 18-2. But to Coach Sampson's club's credit, they do get two more from Heward late in that fourth quarter. Melia with one as well in the closing seconds to make it more respectable. 19-5, though, still the final.
Yeah, and it's kind of to be noted, too. I was kind of sort of looking at the BG getting undressed here. Marcel Vernon didn't even play today. I don't know if he was injured or he was sick, but I saw him on the sidelines just wearing just casual sneakers and a jersey, and he's a Lafayette commit. So he's supposed to be one of the guys. He transferred in from a prep school down in Connecticut. He's supposed to be one of those guys, kind of similar to Seipel, where he's supposed to be a big-name, dynamic transfer player. We unfortunately didn't get to see him today. Hopefully it's nothing serious. But again, that's something to keep an eye on, that even though they put up 19 today, they still had guys who were supposed to contribute. They were out today. So it just shows the depth that Coach Cam has and what they're able to play with. And also for Londonderry, they didn't quit. I know I mentioned some plays or hustle plays where guys are selling out, and I mean they played to the very last buzzer today.
In the what? The second game. Mine did? Mine? No.
All right, back now. We apologize cutting out there for a second. But, yeah, Cam, just to close up what you were saying about Londonderry and the fact that Coach Sampson did get the max effort the entire way this afternoon despite what was on the scoreboard.
Right, and like you said earlier today, they had 7 scrimmages, but again, it's still the first game of about 20 that they'll play in a season, so a lot of room for improvement. I'm sure they'll go back to the drawing board tomorrow at practice. I don't know if they do film or not. Some teams do it differently, the way they recap games, the practice after. But they'll definitely go back to the drawing board, see where they should have scored, maybe had some more chances. They're definitely going to work on clearing, I would bet, and sort of man up. They did have quite a few man-up opportunities.
Yeah.
Which, again, if they capitalize that, it turns into maybe a 19-10 game, which on paper looks a lot better than it did on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Well, again, want to thank our sponsors this afternoon, including Beals Insurance, locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com and start raising money for your team today. Also by, of course, our friends at Dead River Company, a full-service heating provider committed to keeping New Hampshire warm with propane and heating oil. Learn more at deadriver.com. And finally, by the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit nhtomahawks.com and also girls.nhtomahawks.com. Cam, I want to thank you for bailing us out of a jam. We appreciate you coming down.
I appreciate the opportunity to do this. This was a blast. Hopefully I can do this again maybe later on in the season.
Absolutely. We'll keep you on the short list. And again, great job, for sure. Especially on short notice. We appreciate that.
Maybe I can bump up above Matt Gerard. Maybe I can take his spot.
We'll have to talk about that with him. All right, want to thank, of course, Howard Sobolov and his staff here at Londonderry High School, always treating us like royalty for sure. We appreciate them. Of course, the sponsors again, Beals Insurance, MG Sports Fundraising, the New Hampshire Tomahawks, and of course, Dead River Company. All right, for our crew, including down on the field, in a new Friday Night Lights New Hampshire t-shirt. We like that. That is our friend Craig Ingardoni back in the fold. We appreciate him putting in the work down on the sidelines. And, of course, our on-site engineer / camera one, John Barron, working overtime as usual, getting us hooked up and ready to go. Of course, the man behind the curtain, back in the Beals Insurance Studios, our director, Ben Beals, doing a great job. Cam Holt filling in for our friend Roger Howe. We will welcome Roger into the season on Thursday when we hit the road. We're in Bedford. Pinkerton at Bedford, Thursday night, 6:30 start. We'll be on the air at about 6:15 Eastern Time. My name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time, Bishop Guertin 19, Londonderry 5. This has been our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.